Finally tonight, how much is a counterfeit $20 bill worth? Nothing, of course, but a fake work of art? Anthony Mason tells us that's real money.
The crate, arriving from a London museum, holds one of the star paintings in a new exhibit at the Vermeer Museum in Springfield, Massachusetts.
This is being treated as a work of fine art.
Curator Colette Lal makes sure it's given the white glove treatment.
But it's a fake.
It is, yes. But it's a very important fake.
A copy of a 1622 Dutch masterpiece, the Procurus, executed in the 1940s by notorious forger Han van Meegeren.
This fooled all the great Vermeer scholars.
Lal, an art fraud expert, says the exhibition, Intent to Deceive, is all about masterpieces of deception.
This is a fake.
That's a fake.
And this is a fake.
Well, this is a forgery.
A forgery meaning not an exact copy, but a painting in the style of the French master Modigliani. As a forger once said, "If my work hangs in a museum long enough, it becomes real." Anthony Mason, CBS News, Springfield, Massachusetts.
How prevalent is forgery in today's market?
In today's market, the statistic is that on the market right now, 30 to 40% of the works are forged.
This is a show that's created rumbling in the art and museum worlds, an exhibition that dares to pull back the curtain on the grim and often embarrassing reality that for as long as there have been great artists, there have been equally great forgers making a fortune on their heels.
Over 100 years, what was initially cataloged as an Aleutian hat, well, it turned out to be much more than that.
Going through our extensive inventories, I discovered an item that was labeled an Aleutian hat. And I had my doubts, and so I did some research on Aleutian hats and discovered that it did not match what we had in our collections at all. And in fact, I contacted a researcher, a curator at the Alaska State Museum, who informed us that in fact it was a Tlingit helmet. These particular helmets were worn by men in battle, and they provided spiritual as well as physical protection, and they were just part of a larger body armor suit.
Well, it's truly an exciting, perhaps once-in-a-lifetime discovery for us. Generally, I'm working with the natural history collections, and Ellen works with the anthropology collections. So occasionally we will find some things that may be rare and endangered species or a very special mineral, but this came to light as being a lot more interesting than we first thought.
How many of these helmets are in the world?
As far as we know, there are less than 100.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are worldwide, so I believe Harvard has 5, if I'm not mistaken, but many of them are outside of the United States.
I think steampunk equals history plus art plus technology. It's kind of the what if in science fiction. What if during the Victorian period or the industrial age they had modern technology? Springfield was a hotbed of invention and innovation and business and industry in the late 1800s, early 1900s. We were thinking about how we could celebrate Springfield's history, but then create inspiration for what Springfield can become. The name of the exhibition is Steampunk Springfield, Reimagining an Industrial City. So it's, we want this to be a way for people to rethink what Springfield can become.
Steampunk is really something that's becoming a very relevant trend in art, in literature, in contemporary design, and in popular culture. So the more we thought about it, the more we liked the idea. And it was also appealing to us because the museums are so unusual, having the collections of art, history, and science.
we decided that we wanted to have a signature exhibition called Hue Machines. We wanted to celebrate and be re-inspired by iconic authors and inventors of the Victorian period. And one way to do that was to actually try to bring them back in some repurposed form so they could come alive again. So I think Hue Machines, Brassy Bridle, and 51st is a great overview of what steampunk can be and how it can help people reimagine an industrial city.
Steampunk kind of gives you a way to take those things that you love, those pieces of the past, and make something new that's viable now, that you can wear.
I like working with found materials, especially older materials that maybe I can modify and put together in a way that it might even seem to the casual observer that it actually works that way.
So we're the largest and the oldest conservative Jewish congregation in Western Mass. And this year we marked our centennial. So as part of that, we were thinking, what can we do to sort of celebrate our 100 years? And it occurred to us that our 100-year story really mirrored a lot of the story about the Jewish community and frankly the immigrant community in this area. So what we do is we trace the history in general terms, and then there were 12 panels in the exhibit, and we have panels that are dedicated to the different religious organizations. So we have panels for each of the synagogues over the years. We have a panel about Jewish education. We have a panel about caring for the elderly. It's a very important tradition in the Jewish community, and so there's something about seeing these objects before you, the photographs before you, that really sort of make it come to life.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm from Minnetonka, and Art Picnic has been a great experience. I got to work with artists I've admired from my own studio for a long time, and it was great making a usable piece of work of art that Springfield can use, and something great like the museums.
We think the museum school is unique in this area. I've taken probably a dozen courses since I retired 3 years ago to learn painting skills and drawing skills, and the teachers are among the best artists in this area. I started taking courses there. I've mentioned it to a number of other amateur artists in the Northampton and Amherst area, and they've also have started to take courses and have a similar reaction. So we're big fans.
Yes, the trips have been, well, we went on the trip, the Amsterdam barge trip, and where there were artists that were on as well as an instructor. And I was a little hesitant because I don't paint, but it was a wonderful trip, and I got to sightsee and partake in everything and wonderful foods, and we made really good friends on the trip as well.
We made a decision to make a contribution, for us a significant contribution, to the scholarship fund that the museum school has, so that those who might not otherwise have the financial means to take a course but desire to do so can. And I was pleased to hear that a number of people have taken advantage of that.
My name's Joy Goulet, and we just saw the pop-ups, and it was the best show we ever saw. It was a great little concert for the kids, and it ended with confetti, right? And they collected some and they loved it.
Bye.